my dear crafters, one more Valentine's gift for you. It's a beautiful box, very sturdy, but look what we have inside. You might remember this from my dollar store haul. We have this beautiful sponge. If you haven't bought one, go find it, with this beautiful soap with 2 hearts. So this is in the area, of course, in their Valentine items area, and it has a divider here. So that's what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn how to make a divider for a box and how to make a perfect box for this soap and the sponge, okay? But you can use the technique for any kind of box. So with that said, let's move to the tutorial. So let's make the box. You are going to need 2 pieces of paper, actually cardstock. Make sure that it's a heavy, this is a very heavy cardstock that I have. So 2 pieces, the big one is 12 inches by 5, and the small one, which is the lid, will be 11 by 4, okay? So 1 inch less. So let's start with the base of the box. You're going to score at 1.5 and 10.5 on the 12 side, 1.5 and 10.5. I'm just going to reinforce. Then you're going to turn it, and then on the short side you're going to score at 1.5 again. Whoa. 1.5 and 3.5. This is such a heavy cardstock. So yeah, let's score the lid. The only difference here is that the lid is going to be scored at 1. Okay, so 1 here, and then 10, because it's 11, right? So you have to have 1 on each side, and then you're going to turn and do the same. 1, it's 4, so 3, 1 and 3. So you're going to have 1 inch on each side. So now all the scoring is done, and we're going to just burnish these score lines, okay? So I hope you found these items at your dollar store, but even if you don't, it will give you an idea on how to make this kind of box. All you need to do is just change the dimensions, and if you want to learn how to customize a box, watch the video that I'll have the link below, and I teach you everything that you need to know on how to make lidded boxes customizable, okay? So what are we going to do? We're going to cut, do you see this space here? The small one, we're going to cut here and here. So let me just go closer. Remember to always cut at an angle here, makes it easier. There you go. Get this out. So you have a flap here. I'm going to do the same right there. Cut at an angle. This really makes a difference when you want to glue it. And since this is what's going to happen. You're going to just do this, and then you glue the side, okay? So same thing here. Two flaps and two. I just can't believe how thick this. I don't know where I bought this cardstock, but if I ever find it again, I will buy more, because it's perfect for boxes. It's so sturdy. I don't know if you can tell, but it really is. So there you go. So this is ready. All you need to do now is use a strong glue and glue the sides. Make sure that the corners have a lot of glue. we're going to do both at once. So here's what you do. You just make sure that this is perfectly aligned here, the corner. Get the excess of glue out. Same thing here. See? It's perfectly aligned. And then use your bone folder. Press it down. Let me just make sure that it's right. It is. So press it down with your bone folder to make sure that it is strong. And what it does is, because I have 3 layers here of paper, it's going to make it really sturdy, which is great. That's exactly what you want. So we're going to do the same thing here, okay? So let me just get some glue here on the corners, always on the corners. A little bit here. There you go. Let's do one right there, and then the other one will go in like this. Hold it, press it down, and your box, at least the bottom of it, is ready. I'm going to make the lid, and then we're going to make the inside part that has a division here, okay? So basically just press it like this, and the basic part of your box is ready. Look at that. So we're just going to add that division, which is very easy, and you're going to be able to apply that to any kind of box you have. So for the lid, as you know, you've seen me do this a few times, but I don't know if you've seen other videos. So for the lid, we're going to have a side that is 1 inch. So we're going to have to score here at 1 and 10, but with a very important detail. You want the lid to be wider than the box, otherwise it will not close. So you have to move your paper to the right, because when you do, then it widens a little bit, okay? So you're going to score at 1, but you're going to move it like 1/16 of an inch. Let me show you right here. Do you see where this is? It's just a little tiny space here, but that's what guarantees that your lid will close. So let me just zoom in a little bit. We're going to score at 1 here. And you're going to do that on all sides, okay? Again, here it's going to be at 1. You're going to score at 1, but always moving your paper to the right 1/16 of an inch. It's just a little bit to make sure that it's wider. Same thing here, move to the right. There's always a space here. And then again, you go flush, and then you go just a little bit. Let me just move this a little bit. There you go. So 1 again. And that is that. So we're going to fold your lines. And here it's basically the same thing that I did for the box. So I'm just going to accelerate it. You don't need to see it again. Okay, so before we glue these flaps here, we're going to decorate the box. So let me give you the measurements for the decoration. For the top, I already have a mat here with the polka dots, and then I added another layer with a lot of hearts and decoration. And just so you know, this is from Michael's. So I got a banner, like a set of banners here, and a sticker book. This sticker book is really fantastic. It has a lot of great sentiments and stickers. It has 237. So if you want this, go to Michael's, okay? I'll have the link to my haul. So let's decorate it before we do anything else. We're going to, let me give you the measurements, because you need 2 strips for here and here, the sides. You need 2 more for these sides here. So let me give you these measurements. For this one, it's 8 3/4 by 1 3/4. That's the mat here. And this one is 8 1/2 by 1 1/2. Okay, I'll have all the measurements below. The strips are 8 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. So you need 2 of those. And these are 1 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch, and you need 2 of those. Don't worry about the measurements, guys, because I will have it all the links below, okay? In the description below, I'll have all these measurements for you. And here we go. So I'm going to basically have a border here that is like 1/4 of an inch around here and here. I'm just gonna press it. So there we are. I have all the decorations done, and all we need to do now is to glue the sides of the box. So make sure that the corners always have plenty of glue. There you go. I'm going to press it down now and use your bone folder to really make sure that it's well positioned. It really helps, especially on the corners here. There you go. That's the advantage of glue, strong and quick glue. I'll have the link. I have the link to all the glue that I use, the scoring board, everything, okay? There you go. We have... Last thing we're going to do, guys, and that's what we're doing next, is the paper that goes inside and the dividers, like the divider strip, okay? So that's what we're going to do next. And here we are. Let's test, because we did the widening and the moving the paper. Let's see if that's going to close perfectly. Look at that. And that's what you have on the side. Beautiful, beautiful decoration here on the top. So let's now make the divider. For the divider, this piece of paper is 11 by 2. It's very simple to make. You're going to score at 6, 7, and 8. That's it. And then all we need to do is we're going to score these lines, but in a accordion style. So you score one way, the other one the opposite way, and then this is what you're left with, okay? So that's that. And what you're going to do next is just glue these two parts here, and you're done. So we're just going to apply that to the box. So just hold it. Use your bone folder to just make it stronger. So once it's glued, this is what you're left with. Look at that. And this, here's what I do now. I'm going to just make sure that it's right before I glue it. So I push it down. I can see that it needs a little hair less here on the right. So that's what I do, guys. I just cut a little hair. Test it before you glue the paper, okay? So I'm going to test to glue that again. Just making sure that this is pressed down. So now it's perfect. See? It went in perfectly. All you need to do now is glue these two parts. And you can use this technique now that you learned it. When you have two things to put in a box, this is always the height. So in this case, I made the height not as high as the box. See, it's a little less. You can do it all the way to the top. It doesn't really matter. But I don't know, I just prefer to do it this way because the soap in this case it's not as tall as the sponge. And here, guys, what you can do too is glue these two parts, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's a little bit tricky. I should have put the glue before, but that's fine. If you just put glue here on the sides, just press the box open a little bit, and you're gonna get some glue. Just enough. Make sure that it's straight up and press it, okay? Like that. Get the excess. You're going to have a lot of glue there on the side. Just get it off. Get some of this excess of glue off. Even though this glue does, it dries transparent, but you don't want this showing, so I'm just gonna use this and get the excess off. Use your fingers, whatever it takes. I'm just gonna use this too. There you go. Get all the excess of the glue off. And we are done. Look at that. This, you have to wait a little bit more. I think I'm gonna add more glue here. I should have done it before actually. There you go. There you are. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be glued. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. So look at that. Perfectly positioned. This is the soap. We're going to add the sponge. Look how beautiful that is. Perfectly positioned. And then you close your box, and we are done with one more tutorial, guys. Let me just show you the final product. Beautiful long box, and then you open it. You get this lid off, and your loved one gets a sponge and a beautiful heart Valentine inspired soap. This is a great gift, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you use this technique of having the dividers, something that you just learned, in future boxes, okay? So thank you so much for being with me again, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye-bye.